Hi everyone. Today video is on AutoMapper using in ASP.NET Core application. Okay. So what is AutoMapper? AutoMapper is an object to object mapper. Okay. Object to object mapping works by transforming an input object of an one type into output object of another type. Nothing but copying the data from one object to another object, like source object to destination object. Okay. Manually mapping one object properties value to another objective properties values leads to more line of code. Or suppose you have 100 properties in a class, and if you want to map with another object, then it is going to be leads to more lines of codes, which is tedious to do. Okay, so it will be like looks like some dirty code. So to avoid all the dirty work can be avoided by using the AutoMapper. Okay, as long as all property names of the same for two different objects that need to be mapped, almost zero configuration is needed to map them. Like source and destination object, think like that. Source means from which object we have to copy. Destination means to which object. So if the properties of the both source and destination are same, exactly matches, then there are no configuration settings that we have to do in the AutoMapper. Okay, or else we have to do some manual mapping. Okay, so that's about the AutoMapper. So this diagram can give you a brief idea, like a class A, class B. Like a class A is think like a source, and class B think like a destination. So properties has to be mapped using the AutoMapper. Okay. So when to use AutoMapper? Here I am going to explain one of the best case. So in any kind of architecture, it is always advised to not to expose the entity that are nothing but table classes directly. So in that case, what we will do? We will create a replica class of entity. We call them as DTOs, like data transfer objects, or VMs, view models. Okay. So here our main destination will be entity, that is nothing but sorry, source will be entity class most of the cases, like entity nothing but table class, and destination will be either AutoMapper, sorry, DTO, or the view models. Okay, so this is the real time best case to use the AutoMapper to mapping from the entity to DTOs or VMs. Okay, so for this demo, what I have did means I have created a .NET 5 Web API application, and I have integrated NT Framework core, and I have also created some endpoints. But whatever endpoints I have created here initially, those are not using the AutoMapper. They are manually mapping. So I want to show how they look code when we are mapping explicitly without any mapper. And I am going to create another action methods that represent how the code will be look like when we use AutoMapper. Okay, so here I have already added some endpoints without AutoMapper. Okay, so it will be very easy for the comparison purpose. Okay, so before going or showing any endpoint code, I just want to first I need to set up initial configuration of the AutoMapper. I haven't set any initial configuration till now. Okay, now I am going to do that initial configurations required by the AutoMapper. Okay, first thing is we have to install the AutoMapper NuGet package. Okay, to do that, go to manage NuGet packages. Okay, so in the browse tab, you can search for, see here you can see AutoMapper main library and also AutoMapper extension.microsoft.dependency injection. So I will install this Microsoft.AutoMapper.extension.microsoft.dependency injection because it supports .NET Core with the inbuilt uh, dependency injection. Okay, so let me install the stable version. Okay, so here you can observe in the packages AutoMapper extensions Microsoft dependency injection successfully installed. Okay, that is my basic first step. Next thing is while using AutoMapper, the source and destination object must be registered. So the most classified way or categorized way of registering them is creating the profile classes. So what is profile class means? We will create a class and we will inherit the profile from the AutoMapper library. So we can register our source and destination in the constructor of that profile class. Okay. So here we can create n number of profile classes based on your requirement. Okay. So for this demo, I'm going to create only single profile class. Okay. First, let me create a folder like mapper profiles. Okay. So in this folder, let me add a class. Okay. App profile. To make this class as profile class, we just need to inherit the profile. So it's from use AutoMapper. Okay. So now I can simply add a constructor. So inside of this constructor, I have to register my AutoMappers, which we will do in upcoming steps when we require. Okay. So I'm done with the profiler as well. Next thing is we have to register our profilers in the startup. Okay. So if you have multiple profiles, there is a technique like you can individually register them. There is also another technique where if we specify some root class of our project. Okay, so here my root project is API, right? So if you observe here, startup.cs file and program.cs files are in the root folder. Okay, so if I pass this type name, it will automatically loads the assembly and it will automatically reads all the profiles that are exist inside of this namespace. So to do that, what I will do, services dot. Okay, so here what I will register means I simply register the startup.cs file because it is in the root namespace of the project. So that what it will do, it will loads all the profiles that has been created under this project implicitly. Okay, so we no need to explicitly register every profile separately. Okay, so I can specify like type of, I can specify startup. That's the dependency registration for our AutoMapper. Okay, we are done with the initial configuration of the AutoMapper. Okay, first thing I want to show in this AutoMapper is simple object mapping, like single source object to single destination object. How we can map them using AutoMapper. Okay, I will show this. Okay, so if we come to our project, I have already created a test controller. Okay, so in this test controller, if you observe this action method, let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so here you observe here from the gadgets. So gadgets means this entity class. Okay, this is my table class. Okay, from the context from these gadgets, I am selecting first record. Here you can see first are default, but I am explicitly mapping to my DTO object. Here you can see gadgets DTO. So I have created DTOs folder. There you can observe gadgets folder. Okay, so let me split the page. So from this object to this DTO object, I am explicitly mapping those properties. Okay, so here our gadgets is source and gadget DTO is destination, right? So while mapping, it's look like this. I see. Here I am only having 5, right? So it looks normal. But there are like 50 properties or 100 properties in real-time cases. It is hard to map them. Okay. Here we can modify this entire code using the AutoMapper. So here what I will do, I will create another controller. Let me create another controller where in that controller I am going to use AutoMapper itself. Okay. Select API. I will name like mapper test control. Okay. So first thing is let's inject the DB context. Okay. Into our new controller as well. So I have injected my context. Okay. And let's copy this entire action method here. Okay. So we need to change this to uh, using AutoMapper code. So to use AutoMapper, we have interface like IMapper where we can inject them into anywhere in our application. So let me inject the IMapper that loads from the AutoMapper. Okay. So this IMapper can read the configurations from the profile. Okay. So I have IMapper where I can map now two objects, but IMapper only map the objects which are registered in the profile. So here my demo source object is gadgets, destination object is gadgets DTO, right? So to do that, I have to register them in the profile. Okay. So here you can see create map. And first here you can see T source, T destination means object, T source means source object, T destination means destination object. So my source object is gadgets. And gadgets CTO. Okay, we have registered our objects as well. Now IMapper can read them from the profiler. Okay, now what I can do means remove all this mapping. Okay, so here we are getting the results. So I will name like gadgets. Okay, now I have to map, right? So what I will do, where results equal to IMapper, it has a method like map. Here we can provide our source and destination. Our source is gadgets. And destination is gadgets DTO. Okay, here we map like gadgets and gadgets DTO source. And here we can pass the result into this method, map method. Okay, and let's make it result. Okay, we see how the code has been changed. So let me compare like this. See, this explicit mapping is everything gone. Now it is just single line of code, right? Just mapping from source object to destination object and passing the source result. Now we will get output as destination result. Okay, let's run and test the output as well. This is our AutoMapper. First, let's test the normal one and check the result. So this is without AutoMapper results. I have got successfully my first record. Now let's check the endpoint with AutoMapper. See, this is also working. So we are done with basic mapping of the objects. Okay. Next thing we will concentrate on collection mapping, like collection of source to collection of destination. Like that we have to map. Okay. So here you can see I have one endpoint without auto mapper. I am getting collection of gadgets and I have created a DTO object. Once I get the collection of objects from the database, I am looping and manually assigning them to the DTO object. See, this is all code I am doing manually once I received collection of objects. So how we can refactor this with the AutoMapper? Okay. So let's copy this entire code and paste it over here. Okay. Previously we did for single object mapping. Now we did for collection of object mapping. So for collection of object mapping, we no need to register again, means comma list, and we no need to register like this. This configuration only taken by the collection mapping as well. Okay, we no need to explicitly register list of sources and list of destinations as well. So we no need to configure anything in the profile. So what I will do, I will remove this line of code and I will use same mapper dot map. But here I have to specify like collection object type. Okay, so source is like gadgets and a list of gadgets DTO, and we need to pass the source result, that is gadgets. See how he refactored just 2 lines of code. This entire looping is gone now. This is old code, right? Now this is transformed into like this while using the AutoMapper. So if you observe here and here, only changes here we are mapping collection, right? So inside of map method, we need to specify the list as well. Okay, so let's test this as well. Okay, now here is our new endpoint. Let's test here. Okay, we got successfully output. Next thing we have to do is nested objects mapping. Like nested object means there are cases where parent and child, like one to many or many to many relations, when we have that relationship between the tables, we'll have parent and child classes. So how we have to map uh, child classes while we retrieving the parent classes. Okay, let's check them. So to understand nested object mapping, so without AutoMapper code looks like this. So here I have different objects like person. Let me show you the main classes and DTOs. So this is the person class, okay, and it has dependent child table, that is person addresses. Addresses can be listed. A person can have multiple addresses. So and this is person addresses class. So these are two tables in my database, person and person addresses, where person is parent and person address is child. So while I am retrieving person, I will also get the person addresses data. So how to map them? For that, I have created DTOs like person DTO, where it will have person address DTO as a child class, similar to our table class only. Okay, person DTO. These are my classes. So without mapper, our code looks like this. See, I am getting person along with person addresses from the database, and I am creating person object, and I am looping the person result as well as person address results to assign them to person address DTO. See, all these lines of code because of without AutoMapper. Okay, so now I want to transfer this entire code into using AutoMapper. So first we need to register. Basically, we are mapping person data to person DTO if you see the result, right? So first let's configure those here. Create map, like parent class is person and person DTO. But since we want to map child classes as well, we have to register them also. So we have to have another configuration like person address and person address DTO. That's it. If we map our child classes also with their respect to source and destination object type, whenever we are mapping our parent class, they will automatically get mapped. So let's write the code. We can understand. So first see the result of this endpoint without automapper. Okay. So here person address. This is my endpoint. So I am showing the data without automapper first. See person and person addresses array. Person and person addresses array. Like this, our JSON will be look like. Okay. Now we will write new endpoint that comes here. Okay. So let me copy this entire code and go to our new controller. Paste it here. So let's import some namespace. So here I am getting person results along with the addresses, right? So here what I will do, imapper dot map. I simply specify here parent object source and destination is enough, like persons and persons data. No need to specify the child classes, but in the profile we need to register both parent and child. Okay, and if I pass person here, here I am getting collection of persons, right? I need to specify list as well. Okay, I'm not getting single person. I'm getting persons. Okay, so I can remove all these lines of code. See how many lines of code is reduced. Now if I run and test, you can see same results as well. Let's test the results. So here is our new endpoint. Let's try the output. See, we are successfully mapping them to DTOs, right? Next thing we are going to use is for member method configuration for explicit property mapping. So what it is, we will understand just now. Okay. See here, persons is nothing but our table class. Here I have created a person overview DTO. If you observe, here ID is matching, so it can map automatically, but it won't match full name. Is there any full name in persons table class? No. So what will happen if we map them? Let's see first. What will happen if we map them, these two objects? Let me create a new endpoint, public action result. Okay. And let me copy this line of code, and I don't want any addresses. Okay. So just I'm getting persons and I want to map it to my list of person overviews. But till now I haven't registered any mapping between persons and person overview in the profile, right? So first register there. So here create map from where to where, person to person overview DTO. Person to, so I have successfully registered here. So I can map them here. So source is like list of persons and list of person overview DTO and pass the database data. Okay, this is my action method. Let's test the result. So here is our new overview endpoint. Let's try out the results. See here. So in the source and destination, matching columns are only ID. So we are getting data. But in the source, there is no full name, right? So it is showing default value in the destination. So this person, right? Okay, so here for this full name, what I want to do is I want to combine first name and last name and display it in the output as a full name. Okay, so to do that, we have flexibility to configure in the AutoMapper configuration. So go to profiles. So here we have a method like for member. Okay, for member of the destination dot full name. So for this destination, I want some data like see here. Explicitly, I am mapping value to my full name by using the both the columns of the source. So like this, you can do any mapping, like a single column directly can be assigned like that. You can map. So here from the source, I am assigning the value to full name. So if I run, I have to see the full name as combination of source and first name. So let's run it. Now, if we check our overview results, now see, I am getting full name and first name and last name as a full name in the my detail. That is because this for member configuration. Okay, like this, there are a lot of configurations you can check. The most commonly used configuration is like this. Okay, and one final last thing I want to discuss and close, that is iQueryable mapping. Okay, so for a iQueryable means we know, right? iQueryable means whatever query we generate is directly executed on the database directly, right? For that also, we can directly, instead of using the database entity, we can use our DTO directly. Okay, for that we have a method like extension method like project to. We will use it and we will create one endpoint. Okay, to implement the iQueryable, what I will do, I will copy this only, this entire method. Okay, so I will name it like 2 and include up to here it is iQueryable only, right? So here I can write like project 2. So here we have to specify destination object. I can specify like person DTO, right? Results, and let's import the namespace. Okay, here I need to open braces. See, automapper.queryable extension. That namespace imported just now. Automapper.queryable extension. From that extension, we have project 2. So we no need to have this line of code as well. Directly for the direct SQL query only, we can apply for DTO objects. But here we need to pass mapper.configurations so that it can reach the this profiler configuration. Okay, for the project 2 method. Like that we need to do. Okay, so here is no results directly. So if you hover here on the person, you can see this type, list of person DTO. You can observe where here, right? If you explicitly say person, okay, there is no issue here. Let's rename this method. See, from this we can understand we directly in the iQueryable query directly implementing the AutoMapper. So if you recall here in person is parent and person address is child. That also automatically get mapped and we will get the result. So let's run the output. See, this 2 line of code is made into single line of code by directly applying to iQueryable. So here is my new endpoint. If I run, I have to get the results without any issue. See, I'm perfectly getting my person and person address data. So that's all about the main or basic or most frequently used technique by using the AutoMapper and how we can reduce the n number of lines of code into just few 1 or 2 lines of code, because explicit mapping very tedious and more in number of lines, and also we might sometimes confuse or sometimes we may skip to explicitly map them while we mapping manually, so that all the dirty work will be carried out by the AutoMapper very easily. Okay, actually behind the scenes AutoMapper uses reflections, that is another thing. So but it will do job for us very efficient way. Okay, so that's all about the AutoMapper using in the .NET Core application. So if I think this video has delivered some useful information to you all. If you like the video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. We'll meet you soon with the new videos. Until then, signing off.